Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for Rookie Division with Varys Wind here for the Valley of the Dead tournament in Golf Clash the game. Video sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. Make sure that you do hit the thumbs up button, also subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. You can get the ultimate tournament guides or the exclusive tour text guides on patreon.com/golfclashtommy. Link to Patreon and our guides is directly in the description down below. You can follow along with my shots by looking at the info box on the right hand side to get the club distance adjustment, elevation adjustment, also what ball and club type I suggest you to play with. Have in mind that those are all suggestions, and you don't have to follow what I do suggest, but there is always a plan behind it. So let's go to hole number 1. For hole number 1, this is a par 4 that looks very easy to me, but it's not as easy as it looks. The drive though, we should be managing that one fairly well. So I'm adjusting max plus 10 using 4.5 bar topspin and 2 bars of left spin. The idea here is to get the ball as far down the fairway possible, and I want to stay on the right hand side. Why? It's because of those trees you can see there at the top of the game screen, because if we are too much left, those trees will definitely be in our way. Now for the second shot, this is not gonna be an easy shot as we're gonna bounce on that uphill fairway towards the pin, and that one is not really a consistent one in my opinion. Sure, if I would be having the possibility to have a better ball guideline, I might would have gone a max backspin shot or something like that, but I don't have a good ball guideline, so I have to guess. Leave the ball guideline short if you don't have a fully developed ball guideline. 20% elevation with true club distance. And you can see there how much the ball guideline moved to the left there after my adjustment. So here we do need to be absolutely spot on to get this ball to drop for an eagle. I'm not saying it's impossible, quite the opposite. It's definitely a possibility to drop this one, but you will see a lot of opponents being very close if they are not spot on with their adjustment. Like I'm there, I'm not spot on with my adjustment, then I will miss on the left hand side. Hole number 2 offers the best chance, in my opinion, of the par 3s to make an hole-in-one. And what I would like you to do here is to try to find the sticky spot you can see there. The sticky spot there kind of helps you and gives you a little bit more room for error. So I'm using some left spin, ball guideline to hole, and you can see that I have the yellow rain top right of it just by the rough line. Adjustment here is going to be minimum distance, minus 10%. Yeah, even though it doesn't look like uphill, we're going to play with an uphill adjustment. Very important for this shot. And I'm playing with a Marlin ball. You might see this rough one to be scary, and I understand that you may think like that, especially if you're not used to it. But bouncing on the fairway, I would say bouncing on the fairway gives you a safe birdie, absolutely. But the hole-in-one will be very difficult to get from there because you don't really have a ball guideline to follow, so your consistency is definitely going to be tough. So the rough bump with the sniper has a great right and great left, is safe with a great left and great right, but with a perfect ball it's going to be a good chance. So hole number 2 for you with somewhat a little bit of an aggressive rough bump. For hole number 3, the Katana is a crucial ball in my opinion. You can play this shot with less side spin and side spin 3, but the side spin 3 would help you immensely. So 3 bars of side spin, 4.5 bar top spin. We do have the yellow ring by the rough line there. And more importantly, we're gonna adjust medium distance with a 10% over adjustment. Center the ball. No curl is needed when we do have side spin 3. If we do use side spin 2, such as a quasar or something like that, then you need to use some right curl as well, because it is absolutely important that we do find ourselves more to the right of the fairway above the rough than to the left. I saw so many people when I practiced this hole before making this playthrough to go full blast over the rough, because that is a possibility. But you forget one thing. We are playing the course here. And the best possible way of getting a drop is to try to catch the massive funnel by bouncing into the rough here by the green. So if you're pushing the drive harder, then you won't be able to get into this spot where I'm at now. Look at this ball guideline. I can move left, right, and the ball guideline is still going to be stuck. That's what we call a funnel, which means that we do have a lot of room for error, right? And when it comes to the elevation here, I see that we do have a little typo. We're going to change this because we're actually going to play this one minus 10% here for this shot. We're going to have minus 10% elevation, and we're going to play medium distance number. I'm using 2 bars of topspin and 3 bars of side spin to the left. And you can see we hit the rough, and then it rolls down, and it rolls, and it rolls, and it rolls, and it rolls, and we get that ball in for an albatross. And in my opinion, this is one of the easier albatrosses in the whole game. But to be able to play for it, you obviously need to play the same way as I'm doing here, because if you're gonna, once again, if you're gonna push the drive too hard, then you're losing out on this very easy alba opportunity. So once again, think one step, like one more time before you play this hole. And hopefully you have seen this video before you play it, so you can get yourself a couple of albatrosses where your opponents will miss. For hole number 4, another tough par 3, and we're gonna play with our backbone by using the backspin and combined with the 1 bar of left spins. 1 left spin, 3.5 bar backspin, trying to leave the ball guideline short, as you can see there on the zoom in. And the reason we want to leave the ball guideline short is because we don't have a full developed ball guideline. So we need to try to estimate or to guess actually how the ball will act once it comes to green. Adjustment is maximum distance with a 35% over adjustment, and as you can see, I'm using a Marlin here, as I don't believe there is need to play with a better ball. So it's good to actually spend a Marlin, which you will see be common on the par 3s here in this playthrough. Unfortunately, I missed this one just to the left, so we need to aim a little bit more right, or need to remove a little bit of side spin. But again, the ball guideline, as it's not a fully developed ball guideline, doesn't really give us any help, so therefore it becomes tricky to always be spot on with that position. But do your best and you will see yourself at least being close with a chance for an hole-in-one. Hole number 5, and here I would like you to play with the big topper, regardless what level you have the big topper in. The reason for that is it's topspin, because here we don't really have that many obstacles. We just want to go straight forward and go as long as possible. So I'm using my big topper level 4, which is a bit of a higher level for being played from front tee. That's why it's important for me to say that you should play with whatever big topper you have, regardless what level you have it in. No elevation, max distance number, and I'm playing with a Marlin when it comes to playing in crosswind and tailwind. When it is headwind, I will play with either a power 1 ball or a power 2 ball to make sure that I don't have to go with any overpower. Now, second shot, you can see that we're gonna be very close to minimum distance of our club. I'm moving up just slightly, but from here we're gonna play minimum distance with a 10% over adjustment here. Using 1 bar of backspin, trying to aim to the right side of the pin when I'm not having a fully developed ball guideline. This because the green slopes right to left. Obviously, if you would be having a good ball guideline, then you aim for the pin. That's kind of the easiest thing to do, but with lower level clubs, we're gonna have to do this here to try to somewhat guess if the ball guideline is going to hold or not. Center the ball, hit perfect, and this is probably the best chance out of them all to get a drop here on the in the tournament here from the front tee. So again, a Marlin ball is the only thing that we spent, but still very good chance. Hole number 6, I'm starting with a Titan, 4.5 bar topspin to right spin, and starting a complete max distance. Once that is done, I will change to a power 5 ball to be able to use a slow needle overpower. So I'm actually not going to move my target from there, I'm just going to go max overpower with slow needle. Obviously, you can still go with a Titan if you would like, but then obviously the needle would shake way more, and it's going to be tougher than to hit perfect. Now I'm getting a bit too close to the left side for being comfortable with that, so I would maybe move a little bit more to the right there. The idea here is to get the ball to be 400 yards or longer, and also get ourselves to play with a power 5 ball to make sure that even if we don't get a good rollout, we shall always be able to reach to get ourselves the eagle. Because the fact is, on this hole, I'm not looking for an albatross here. Obviously, I would be very pleased if I get one, but my idea here is to get ourselves to have such the safest eagle play possible. And then you can do two ways on the second shot. Either use backspin and aim for the first bounce on the fairway above the rough, or that you aim in the rough and use topspin and roll the ball towards the pin. Now I'm getting very lucky getting an albatross here on the third bounce in the hole, but I'm not gonna cry about that. That's awesome. But in the end, my point is, this is a par 5 where you will see more birdies than you will see albatrosses. So the eagle here is what we're looking for. Everything else is just a bonus. For hole number 7, we're gonna use a marlin ball and we're gonna use our backbone. Obviously, you can play this shot with whatever long iron you may have because we're not really using that much of the attributes. So we're gonna use 2.5 bar backspin, and I'm using 1 bar of left spin. You can see that I'm aiming left side of the hole, and the reason I'm aiming left side of the hole is due to the fact that we do have the fairway that slopes what will be left to right. So in that case, having that sloped fairway, the ball will be pushed more right than what it looks, because it will hit the wall there in an angle, or hit the fairway in an angle. You see there, and it bounces right, so therefore we need the left spin to compensate for that. This is a tough par 3, especially when the rough bump is somewhat non-existent with lower level clubs, so therefore bouncing on the fairway here offers a safe way of a birdie, but a little bit of a chance for an hole-in-one. For hole number 8, and here I would like you to play with a ball that is a power 1 ball in crosswind and tailwind. In headwind, I would recommend to go with a power 2 ball at least, maybe even a power 3 ball if it's a severe wind. This to make sure that we don't have to use any overpower. Max plus 10, and I'm adjusting with max, or I'm using max topspin and also some side spin as well to make sure that the ball guideline is pointing straight down the fairway, making sure that we are not going to roll into the rough on the right or into the bunker on the left. The idea here is to get ourselves into somewhat short iron range, somewhere between medium and maximum distance of our club. 358 is a good yardage and something we should remember. Now, look at the ball guideline here when I'm moving a little bit back and forth. You can see how much it kind of moves there. That spot there kind of pushes massively to the right. And we need to make sure to play to the left of that. It's very easy to play into that spot as it is somewhat straight before the pin. So make sure to use the right spin that you have to move left, and then use a little bit of backspin here. And now obviously the issue when it comes to short irons with a ball guideline less than 4.0, it becomes somewhat a guesswork how long the ball will roll after the ball guideline ends on the visual. 20% elevation, true club distance to check where you are in terms of minimum and maximum distance of your club and make an educated guess. Unfortunately, we are just a little bit short, needed to move up just a little bit more to get that ball in the hole. Regardless though, this is a good chance for an eagle. Hole number 9, and I want us to play with our quarterback, even though we would be having it in a low level. So here with the quarterback level 7, yeah, I do have the red ring by the rough line starting at the +2 yard mark with the katana. So 3 right spin and 3 top spin, adjust max +5, push up to max, and then we're gonna go full curl to the right. And here, this is important, full curl to the right, and that's why I'd rather take the quarterback and go with overpower than going with an extra mile with no overpower but has like non-existent curl. Because look how much it slopes. It slopes right to left. So if we come too much to the left, we will roll into the rough and then you cannot reach the green in 2, and then you're done. But if we find ourselves to stay on the fairway, we do have a chance for getting this ball in the hole for an albatross, even though it's going to be tough. So what I recommend here, for those that don't feel comfortable with a rough bump like this, use all the backspin you have. and aim for the fairway above the rough. But for those that do want to go for an albatross here, the rough bump is the only way to do this with. So estimate your club distance. Where is your minimum distance line? Where is your maximum distance line? And make an educated guess from there. True distance with a 25% over adjustment, and we're using to have the ball guideline through the hole in headwind, to the hole in crosswind, and just short of hole in tailwind. Obviously a great right will miss to the right approximately as much as we do miss here in the video, so who knows what a perfect ball would do, but this is, in my opinion, a good chance for a drop if you do go for a rough bump. But again, if you don't feel comfortable with it, use all the backspin and go directly at green for a safe eagle. Thank you so much everybody for watching this playthrough for a Rookie Division with the various win here for the Valley of the Dead tournament in Golf Clash the game. Video sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. Get the ultimate tournament guides on Patreon. Link to Patreon and our guides is as always in the description down below. Once again, thank you for watching and good luck in your Golf Clash game.